Global climate change is the average climate of our Earth changing. The planet is warming up faster than at any time scientists knew from their studies of Earth's entire history. Sea levels are rising because of melting ice, and important port cities could be submerged. Production of the world's food supply may get cut because of the pollution in the climate. The food being cut down will hit poor nations as well as countries with too many mouths to feed. More carbon dioxide is set out into our atmosphere because the Arctic is warming up, so the permafrost melts and CO2 is released, depleting some of our ozone layer. Approximately 1/3 of the CO2 release will end up in our oceans, and too much of it will turn the oceans acidic. Climate change can cause mass extinction of many species because it threatens habitats by causing pollution, etc. Extreme weather starts to increase. As the climate starts getting rough, so will the relations with humans. War could be declared over things like natural resources, supplies, etc. It's going to take away billions of dollars from the budgets of countries, and we will be at an economic loss trying to fix the problem of climate change.
Burning fossil fuels causes global warming and also releases CO2. Releasing CO2 kills the ozone in the atmosphere, which causes the average temperature to increase, aka global warming. Ozone, O3, protects us from the excruciating rays of the sun. Global warming has many impacts. First is the ice caps melting. This causes a loss of ecosystems for many animals. Another impact is difficulty breathing in large cities. CO2 has increased by 40% between 1800 and 2012. The oceans are also warming. They have warmed 0.3 degrees Fahrenheit since 1969. Global sea level is also rising. It rose 17 centimeters in the last century and double that in the last decade. Global warming is irreversible, which is why we have to protect our environment or else face harmful consequences. It will take approximately 10,000 years for the environment to return to its pre-industrial revolution atmosphere.
Climate change can impact society and ecosystem in general in numerous ways. It can increase rainfall, which leads to floods. Likewise, it can also decrease rainfall, which can lead to droughts. This can stress the water supply, which can affect agriculture and habitats, which can also disrupt the food chains. Forests, agriculture, and wildlife are being threatened every day because of the temperature changes. Climate change also involves sea level increase. In the south, because of the change in water, the competition to get water will change dramatically in a worse value. Agriculturally, more severe warming, floods, and droughts can lead to reduced crop yields, but then again, moderate warming and more CO2 in atmosphere will affect plant growth in a much faster rate. Mountains and Arctic ecosystems and species are more sensitive to the abuse in climate change. In forests, the change in climate will alter the frequency and intensity of wildfires. Overall, the warming will result in more frequent and intense droughts, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans, which can directly harm animals and destroy habitats. Because of this, many animals got classified as endangered animals.
Food prices are rising because climate change makes it harder to maintain the specific conditions crops need to live. As the climate warms, the air holds more moisture and rainstorms become more intense, ruining crops. Overall precipitation patterns are also changing, bringing droughts to some areas of the world and floods to others. A recent study published by Stanford University shows that global wheat production decreased by 5.5% as a result of an unstable climate. Demands for air cooling and air conditioners has increased nearly 70% in the past 30 years, and need for heaters has drastically went down. Fresh water is becoming scarcer in some regions. Many states rely on snowmelt to renew their water sources, and snowpack is declining as well as melting earlier in the season. Serious droughts, increased evaporation, and changes in precipitation patterns are impacting water levels in streams, rivers, and lakes. Scientists expect lake levels to drop as the climate continues to warm up. Droughts are becoming increasingly common. Global warming will worsen conditions for air quality as well as increase risk of diseases and health complications of heat-related illnesses. In addition, as a result, floods, storms, and droughts get more frequent and stronger. It will destroy the homes of many and threaten our safety and health. Everyone's daily life, no matter where they live, is already drastically affected by global warming.
If you're not going to think about the world nor the animals, then at least think about yourself.